What's up, fight fans? Thank you as always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Happy Christmas to you and your family. All right, let's just get straight into this because it's going to be a long video. Well, not this one actually, because I'm going to split this video up, but it's going to be a lot of videos and it's going to take me ages. So I have got my laptop just in case I need to refer to it. I've got some notes down here as well because I don't want to miss anyone out that deserves to be mentioned. Like, let's get straight into it. Fighter of the year. That's the big one, right? That's the big prize. Not that I give out a prize, but that's the one where everyone wants to talk about. Now, I did put the question out on Twitter, and a lot of people mentioned the same name, right? And no surprise there for me. But I do think there have been other fighters that have had really good standout 2018s that need to be mentioned. First one, really, Dillian White. What a year for Dillian White. I mean, if Dillian White sat down with his management team at the start of 2018, I don't think they could have planned a better year. Yes, he wants to be world champion, but just below that, he would have said he wants 3 or 4 fights this year. That's what he would have said. He's always training Loughborough. He's fit. He's in shape. He wants to fight. He's not one of those boxers that just want one big paycheck a year. He wants to be active. He's been active, and I think he's now cemented his place as a top 5, top 6 heavyweight, probably next in line for a title. He's earned millions, and Eddie Hearn's made him a box office star, right? What else could you want for the year? It started with the knockout of Lucas Brown, right? It was a case of, okay, where am I? Let's just get in there against a big, strong man. Knocked out Lucas Brown, made that look easy. And it was a good boxing performance as well. And then he took, if you like, from Lucas Brown to Joseph Parker, a massive jump. That's a massive jump. There's no two ways about it. Lucas Brown was floating in and around the top 30. Joseph Parker was floating around the top 6 or 7. And he beat Joseph Parker. Very good fight. And then he had the rematch of rematches, if you like, against Derek Chisora. And he closed the lid on that with a devastating 11th round knockout. So for Dillian White, I think he'll look back at 2018 with a lot of pride. Yes, he wants one of the big boys. We know that. He keeps mentioning it. But nonetheless, I think it's a very successful 2018 for Dillian White. Another heavyweight that I don't think anyone's going to mention, but I think's had a tremendous 2018 is Michael Hunter. People forget that Michael Hunter got beat by Usyk in 2017, and he took nearly 1 year out. Took a year out of the ring. He was undefeated at the time, and I think it's always good to see what happens when undefeated fighters get beat. Sometimes they come back, sometimes they don't, they disappear off the face of the earth. He came back, jumped up to heavyweight, and has had 4 fights this year and he's won all 4. But it's the last 2 fights that are impressive. He took on Martin Bakole. 2019, maybe 2020 was all about Bakole. He knocked out Bakole. And then he took on the giant Ustinov, and I think he took that fight on 7 days' notice and knocked him out as well. So again, to come back from getting beat by Usyk, take out nearly a year, have 4 fights in 2018 and make your name on the last 2, I think super impressive. And I think that he's not a big heavyweight, but because he's fast and it's clear now he can punch because he's been in there against 2 big heavyweights and knocked them both out, I think he could cause a few problems in 2019. So watch out for Michael Hunter. Next on the list, another heavyweight that deserves a big mention. I might do a separate video on him, Tyson Fury. I mean, Tyson Fury really should be the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. And if he was, he might have been on top of this list. It's been an incredible year for him. We're not going to really talk about where he's come from. We all know that story. But nonetheless, let's look at the performances. Sefer Seferi, Pianetta, and then you jump to Deontay Wilder, and you pretty much school Deontay Wilder in his backyard, and you get a draw away from home, which should have been a win. Tyson Fury deserves a mention. Lomachenko. I was umming and ahhing about Lomachenko. Then I thought, wait a minute. Lomachenko jumped up a weight class and took on arguably the number 2 lightweight in the world behind Mikey Garcia and Jorge Linares and stopped him. I think we take these things for granted because it's Lomachenko. If anyone else done this, they would have got a lot of plaudits. Lomachenko has jumped up another weight class. Another one, guys. Beat a recognized lightweight champion who hasn't been beaten for years and stopped him with a body shot in, what was it, round 10. Fantastic performance. Had shoulder surgery. Came back, I read 2 or 3 months early, beat Pedraza, and I think it's a solid year for Lomachenko. And I think if it wasn't for the shoulder surgery, he would have probably fought 3, maybe 4 times this year. That's what he said he wanted to do in the outset of 2018. So again, solid year for Lomachenko. Inoue, solid year. He smashed Jamie McDonnell, smashed him. I remember in the build-up to that fight, everyone thought, you know what, he might be too powerful and strong for McDonnell, but everyone thought McDonnell, just because of the experience, might give him rounds. Smashed him to pieces. Then he took on Payano, And I think we forget, Payano was a former world champion. Knocked him out with the cleanest 1-2 you're ever going to see. But the two standouts for me on this list are Josh Warrington and Usyk, right? Josh Warrington, I think, has had an incredible year. And I think it's easy to do what people are doing right now. People are doing things like, okay, he fought Lee Selby. Lee Selby was weight drained. Lee Selby was world champion. Lee Selby wasn't complaining about the weight. I know Lee Selby's gone up now, but Lee Selby wasn't complaining about the weight. Lee Selby was world champion, and he was favoured to beat Josh Warrington, favoured to school him, right? And then go on to fight Carl Frampton. Josh Warrington destroyed Lee Selby, destroyed him. And that's painful for me because I'm a Lee Selby fan, but destroyed him. Then it was a case of, okay, what can you do against Carl Frampton? The more experienced Carl Frampton, the guy that everyone had at worst, number 3 in the world, behind Santa Cruz and maybe Gary Russell Jr. I think people had him above Valdez. Destroyed him as well. I mean, these are two fights that he's going into as underdog, and he won the belt and then retained it. And there is this thing about, if you win a belt, that's one thing, but to be recognized as a real world champion, you've got to retain your belt against the elite, and he done that. So amazing year for Josh Warrington. But my fighter of the year has to be Oleksandr Usyk, and it was close. It really was close. Oleksandr Usyk's had a fantastic year. It really has. Bradis, by the way, people, was a very, very close fight. I think we almost remember the last two performances against Gassiev and Bellew. You've got to go back and watch that Bradis fight. He was close to losing that fight. In fact, I know some people that have scored that fight to Bradis. So again, it's a very thin line, but I think if you give him the win, which obviously the record books have, he took on Bradis, who was unbeaten and a world champion. He took on Gassiev, unbeaten and a world champion. And he took on Bellew in a big fight at the MEN Arena, and he won all three. And those performances against Bellew and Gassiev were just perfect, like perfect. And you know what's strange about that fight? I had Bellew doing very well between rounds 1 and 4. And a phrase you always hear in boxing is, all right, this guy can go up a few more gears. It's almost as though Usyk went back to the corner and said, you know, I've got to jump from gear 1 to 4 here, just to get this guy out of here. And he did that. And it was, from round 5 to the stoppage, it was almost punch perfect. And if you're Usyk, you must go home, wherever he is in the world right now, he must go home, go down to his den. I guarantee you he's got a den. Go into his online banking and go, good year. That's a good year. Like literally, what he's earned this year, I don't even want to think. I'm sure the Muhammad Ali trophy, wasn't that like a $10 million guarantee to the winner? And then Bellew, he must have got paid, I don't know, 4 or 5 million. He must go home, look at his bank balance and say, you know what? Great year. And then he must open his trophy cabinet, and he's got a trophy cabinet. All the best have trophy cabinets. And see WBO, WBC, WBA, IBF, Ring Magazine, Olympic gold medal, World Championship gold medal, European gold medal, Muhammad Ali trophy, and all the awards he's winning this year. Yahoo gave him Fight of the Year, Ring Magazine Fight of the Year, ESPN Fight of the Year. Usyk's had an incredible year, and it's going to be hard to top it in 2019. I don't know how he does, unless he knocks out one of the heavyweight champions, which will be sent. If he does that, then 2019 Fight of the Year standard. But look, it's been an incredible year for Usyk. Everyone voted Usyk, but I just wanted to mention a few of the others as well that I think have had solid years as well.